Welcome to another edition of our action-packed Euro 2012 TV show. So as I predicted, it was a draw between Italy and Spain. People were almost wetting themselves before the game kicked off when the teams were released and the formations were looked at. The Spaniards played with no recognised striker and Italy played with a sweeper. The game was fascinating. The passing from both teams was immaculate almost at times. It was free-flowing football, but with consideration. The fact that Pirlo was able to hold his own was great to see for somebody who has watched him for so long. People were worried about how he would play with Iniesta, Xavi and Busquets around him, but he was fantastic, and especially for the Italian goal. He jinked a wee bit of pace from somewhere, jinked past Xavi, released a lovely pass, and Di Natale, the other person that I predicted would do well if he got a chance, ran onto it, put the ball past Casillas, and it was 1-0 Italy. The Spaniards reacted remarkably well. They got a goal back within 3 to 4 minutes. Great play from David Silva, probably the best creative attacking option that they had in the team. He slipped a lovely ball through. Fabregas picked his run perfectly, went through on goal, beat Buffon, and another lovely goal. So that was one each. The other talking points, there was a clash of the ball bags when Ramos gave away the ball to Balotelli, who then tried to trundle away one-on-one with Casillas. Took about 10 minutes to get to Casillas, and Ramos managed to get back, so Ramos was the best ball bag out of the two of them there. But the game was fantastic. It was a lovely game to watch. As I said, the passing was great. Both teams have only just began, so I think they'll peak later on in the tournament. Obviously, both will want to win the tournament, but it was a nice game to watch. So I predicted a 3-1 win for Croatia, and unfortunately for Ireland, I was actually correct for once. Mandzukic took his goal well, considering he slipped and fell, and then managed to get back up and headed the ball towards goal, but the defending should have been better from Ireland's point of view. Sean St Ledger I kind of slagged off beforehand, but he did extremely well with his goal and kind of shut up me for criticising him. He was committed and was desperate to get to the ball first, so well done him. For the Nikisa Jelavic goal, let me explain how I saw it. The ball came in, and when the shot was hit by Modric, Jelavic was offside, but then it took a deflection, and if it had again fallen to Jelavic, he would have still been offside. But once the ball hit Ward, and Ward was trying to clear it, that's when the phase turns into him being onside, because Ward is then tried to attempt to clear it. It's not anybody's fault but his own that he miskicked it, went straight to Jelavic, and Jelavic scored, so Jelavic for me was onside. For Croatia's final goal, Mandzukic again put his header towards goal, hit the post, and unfortunately for Shea Given, it hit off his face and went into the back of the net. Always unfortunate when it happens to a goalkeeper, although it's one that we always laugh at when it's 7-a-side or 5-a-side games that we're playing in ourselves. There's two talking points I want to bring up on the game. The whistle from the crowd, although it was very audible for us watching at home, and I do wish I could stick that whistle up the person's you-know-what. It didn't affect the game because I don't think the players ever reacted to it. And finally, there was a bit at the end, I think it was Shane Long elbowed Petikosa, the Croatian goalkeeper, in the face. I don't think he meant it, but there is that fifth official sitting behind the goal line who could obviously see it, yet he never done anything. And I've got to ask UEFA, why do these officials turn up if they're not going to get involved? Under Roy Hodgson, England haven't had their troubles to seek. The Rio Ferdinand, John Terry affair, injuries and call-offs has meant that a lot of squad changes have had to be made. Roy likes to have his team behind the ball playing effective football, but they need to find a creative spark from somewhere. People might suggest that it's vital that Wayne Rooney comes in the third game and reacts straight away, but I think he will. I think Wayne Rooney, after missing the first two games, will be extremely hungry and wants to provide everything he can for England. The French national team can always be a bit Jekyll and Hyde. Laurent Blanc will be hoping that a vibrant, successful squad turns up for this European campaign. Karim Benzema could be a very good shout for a golden boot, but if he misfires, they've always got Oliver Giroud on the bench. Going forward they look fine, but at the back it might be the problem, with Mexes being a bit too slow and Patrice Evra switching off on occasion. Sweden, they've got Zlatan, and if you've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you always stand a chance to win a game. At the back, they're another team that might feel that they're a bit weak in that position. Olaf Melberg, always good for a yellow card. He is a bit older and he is a bit slower. As I say, with France and England being unpredictable, maybe Sweden fancy their chances to qualify from this group. The co-host, Ukraine, will hope that the home support can see them getting a few points from this group. Up front, they might find it a problem to score goals. Andriy Shevchenko's passed it, and Voronin's never really had it. They will hope that they can get a vital win in the first game against Sweden and take it on from there. How are France coming into this tournament, and are they confident?
I think slightly confident. They're now on a 21 game winning streak, unbeaten streak. They beat Brazil, Germany. They won the three pre-tournament games. The first one coming from behind against Iceland, looking really good against Estonia and Serbia. They've not won a game since against Portugal in 2006 when it comes to tournaments. But I think they're quite confident they can definitely get out of the group, and then it all depends on who you get in the knockout stages. But I think after the South Africa debacle, I think there's the kind of quiet confidence. I don't want to be too confident and look a bit arrogant, but I think there's definitely a bit of the strutting around the place a bit, and I think they know they've got quality.
Apart from the usual suspects, who should we look out for in this French team?
I think one of my boys, Mathieu Debuchy at Lille, playing at right back, a bit of an unknown quantity for the people not watching Ligue 1. He just rampages up and down the right hand side, loves to get forward. Bit of an underrated defender as well. He's going to cause Ashley Cole some problems down the left and maybe pin him back. And I think how well Cole does will depend on how well Debuchy does. Who else? When you're looking at obviously Karim Benzema, and the one to refer is Frank Ribery, who's playing out of his skin at the moment. I mean, he hadn't scored in something like 21 games, and he scored with his last 3 shots on goal for France. So he's definitely playing the best football he has in the France shot. So he's coming into the tournament on top form.
What's your prediction for the France and England game?
Part of me hopes that France can absolutely just turn on the style and destroy England, but I think you can't underestimate England no matter who's on that pitch. I think my heart says 2-1, I think my head probably says 1 each actually.
And thanks very much for Andrew for giving us some insight into that French national team. To find out more on England's opposition France, head over to French Football Weekly as they preview today's game. For detailed tactical analysis on the hosts Ukraine, check out Slavic Football Union. Dan Williams takes a look at Sweden for the football project, so make sure you all take a look at that too. And remember people, football's just a game. The French and the English do get on occasion. Just look at Basil Boli and Chris Waddle.
Well, Basil, to tell the truth, in my cradle in my early youth, I kicked, I punched my rubber balls with great emotions.